to Apothecary After Dark.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Apothecary After Dark, the official podcast of Amityville Apothecary. My name is Dina Rosenberg, co-owner of Amityville Apothecary with my business partner in crime.
Yep. Hi guys, I'm Danielle DC. Good to see you. And we have a very special guest with us today, our employee, Vincenzo.
We love Vinny.
Yay!
Snap, sponsor plus. Vinny, how long have you been working with us?
3.5 years, almost 4 years.
What's your 4-year anniversary? When's your month?
March 8th.
So way more than 3.5 years.
Wait, Vinny, tell the story of how you came to be here.
I lied. I filled out, there was a Instagram video about needing someone to help pack and ship, and I applied saying that I had experience. And I didn't have experience.
Well, you did.
You did
I mailed
7
something before. So I knew how to print out the label and
So
send it.
I wasn't even in that day. And then we needed someone for packing and shipping and fulfillment. And Dina goes, oh yeah, I hired this nice kid. He has experience.
He's a Capricorn.
It's gonna be great. And his grandma was here, so you're gonna love him. I'm like, okay, I trust you. And then I was like, so he has packing and shipping experience?
You see how this worked out?
He fessed up to maybe sending 5 packages. But,
That's fine.
It worked out because he actually is a licensed esthetician. And he has blossomed and grown enormously from the time that he has joined our team. So he is our local glamour witch, and that is the theme of what we're going to be talking about today.
But not in this episode.
No, in the next episode.
But aside from being a glamour witch and working with Aphrodite and being really great at curating, he is our road warrior. And we all, the three of us, are going to be headed to the biggest gem and mineral trade show in the world, the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. In just a couple of weeks, actually, I'm pretty sure when you guys are hearing this, we will be in Arizona.
Yeah.
How many shows have you been to with us, Vin?
I have been to, this is going to be my 4th Tucson.
Wow.
It was my 2nd Denver, and my first Springfield.
Yeah, so quite a few shows.
Quite a few shows.
Yeah, so when we go, especially the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, it's not just a convention center or a warehouse. It is the entire city of Tucson is taken over by vendors that come from all over the world with their minerals and crystals and fossils and goods from all over the world. So when people are like, oh, how do you get your materials? We hand pick every single item.
It's cash and carry, you guys.
So we go there to Denver and to Tucson, and the Tucson show is always towards the end of January to the beginning of February, and we go for over a week, and we stay there, and we just go to all of the shows and are constantly on the hunt for what's new, what's exciting, what special finds can we find. And since it's so extensively exhausting, we bring Vinny along with us, and he is very helpful, and we make him pull the cart.
It's a lot of work. It looks like fun. It is fun, but it's mostly hundreds of pounds of crystals back and forth to the car, long walks, long days. We don't really venture in Arizona. Everyone's like, you should go hiking and stuff. Well, we don't do that. But
we're walking all day.
I do that.
So we walk all day from 7 in the morning till 9 at night, and we're exhausted. So we don't really have time to do excursion things. So everyone thinks it's this relaxed fun time, and it's not that of any sort.
No, it's definitely a heavy duty work trip. We have a lot of laughs. We do stay at nice places, and maybe we'll jump in a pool or a hot tub or something.
Maybe.
And have a nice meal. Usually I crash out and say you guys go without me.
There's always one
exhausted.
night of any of our buying trips where we have reservations at a hotel and at a restaurant, and Danielle's going to go, and then she's like, you guys have to go without me. I can't. So there's always one, we'll see.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to talk about was maybe a little bit about our experiences at these shows, because if you live local to Tucson, Arizona, some of these shows are retail shows. They're not all wholesale. Some are wholesale where you need to have your EIN number, your tax certificate, your resale certificate. but some of them are retail where you can go and buy like a bracelet or a necklace. So
Right.
I thought it might be interesting to talk a little bit about like what to expect. And
Yeah. It's really exciting and it's fascinating to walk around. Like one of the biggest shows within it for the retail side is the 22nd Street show. And what that is 22nd Street for probably 4 blocks.
huge blocks.
Is covered with massive tents.
Have you ever seen tents as big as those tents before you went to Tucson?
No.
No, they're
You can't
huge.
even get like the scale of the
No.
size of these tents.
These tents take up the entire block, and it's just as far as the eye can see. And then you keep going, and there's vendors set up throughout, flanking all sides as well as the middle. And that is a huge retail show. So if you're just a customer and wanting to go find some cool things, you'll see dinosaur bones fully set up and like the taxidermy of all the beautiful butterflies and scorpions and snakes, which I stay away from the snakes, and the spiders, which I don't like. But then you'll see giant geodes, you'll see gorgeous jewelry, estate sales, you'll see state-of-the-art museum pieces, and then everyday things that you...
Bulk items.
Yeah,
like,
it's awesome.
Like your like standard like selenite, satin spar selenite items that are pretty affordable to, like Danielle said, like thousands of dollar collector pieces to rarities. So you can go and you can walk it. I think like how do you guys feel? Like I always get nervous about like you go to one show, like how do you know when to pull the trigger on something? Because you can be walking and you'll see like citrine upon citrine upon citrine. So like what do you look for? Like when you're like saying, hey, you guys look at this over here.
I feel like when you said citrine and stuff, I feel like natural citrine is always what catches my eye first. I kind of turn away from lab created just for the fact that like natural citrine is so much more like energy into it, and like the look of it's clearer and like the clarity's nice. And I feel like also things that we haven't gotten here before or providers have had that are local is so much nicer there. You can find so many more unique things. So I think the uniqueness of things and the rarity is what I usually go for. And like when we first started going there, we were looking at like just restock items. Now we look for like the rare things that no one else has.
Right. So we're always on the hunt for new and unique because Dina and I have been at this 6+ years. So we have a sense, we tend to know what materials come from what regions and who our preferred vendors are because we've established relationships with them. So we always have our tried and true materials that we know from our customer base are going to sell throughout the year. But I remember when we were walking around Denver, something caught my eye, and it was a hand-hammered obsidian sphere. And there was a gentleman from, I think it was Mexico, that, and he's like, I hand hammer them. So it's an obsidian sphere, and then it's polished, but then he used a tool to create this unique texture of it. It grabbed my attention. I was like, well, if it grabs my attention in such a compelling way, that's something that I'd like to bring back for the customers. We keep an eye out for less common mineral combinations.
Good contrast.
Yeah.
Like things with really good contrast.
Bright colors, things that are harder to find. If we hear a pulse of like a new mineral material, we will race to that vendor first to try to secure it for you guys. And I have definitely been known to like get a little competitive and throw elbows, you know, because people will be like, ooh, what is that? I'm like, it's mine.
Yeah.
It's mine. And I'm very protective on behalf of you guys. But, then we have some serendipitous surprises. Like last year, we went to a vendor that we always have a lot of fun. They have like goats and the big dragon amethyst and like great photos and fun things. But then there was a marble Blessed Mother statue that caught our eye that we fell in love with. And the woman said, well, you know what? There's a slight piece of damage, which we were fine with. And then guess what? The marble Blessed Mother came home with us. So like serendipitous things like that happen often.
Yeah, I think a big part of this industry that a lot of people don't appreciate is the relationship building that we visit with these people that come from other countries with their minerals and specimens year after year. It's actually a trip for me because I think I told you this last year that it seems like for me, like in my mind, the way it works is that like the show is frozen in time because when we get back to Tucson, it's like everything is as it was the last time we were in Tucson because the vendors for the most part take the same spots again.
Yeah.
So like we now know like this one's at this show, this one's at this show in this row. So it's almost like they're always there.
Right.
So it's weird because I feel like we're just like potting in.
Yeah.
Like it's such like a weird feeling for me.
Yeah, because there are actual hotels that are taken over and the entire courtyard is filled with tents. And then the surrounding rooms that have sliding glass doors are all taken over
Like they
by
take the
vendors.
beds out.
Yeah.
They remove all the furniture and they turn them into like retail spaces in every room. So, or wholesale spaces. So we know who we definitely need to go see, and then we do a lot of exploration to find. So one of the best surprises was when we met that miner from the Himalayan region, and we found the most spectacular quartz specimens with chloride inclusions, and he's this slight little man that climbs up the Mount Everest and mines these gorgeous, high vibrational, beautiful quartzes. That was really special.
That was really special.
I just think it's really nice because we establish relationships. Some of our best partners, like we get our gorgeous garnet from our friend in India.
Or our friend from Morocco that does our custom selenite plates. I'm so excited to see him again because he always smells like roses and Marlboro Reds. And I know that sounds like creepy, but I get like so excited to like give him a hug, like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, he's a great friend. And we have some new projects. So I remember when I saw him, he makes selenite plates, and he goes to Morocco during the year for producing all of the things. And I said, hey, can you create a selenite plate with this design, the star? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Send me a picture of that. And it's actually become one of our top selling
We actually need to
products.
reorder. We should text them.
Yeah, so it's fun because we get to co-create in that manner with our partners. So
we also do a look ahead. So like we'll be buying for Halloween.
Yep.
We buy our Halloween boxes. We'll be buying like special Halloween carvings. We buy, what else do we buy for that?
Valentine's
Day, Christmas. Sometimes we do St. Patrick's Day. Like we do all the holidays that we hit as much as we can do to prepare for the year ahead. Because this is like our restock. Like
this is a big
this
shop.
is our big show. So yeah, I think we do a lot of holiday like kits and stuff.
Yeah, and then we sell custom mystery boxes. So we do personal shop. Like a lot of our customers will say, hey, I'm really in the market for this type of a stone and here's my budget. So as we're shopping around, we'll keep a running list and then the cell phone numbers of our customers so that we can contact them.
So if there's something special that you guys are looking for, slide into our DMs because we will be there while you're watching this.
Yeah, absolutely, because we do. It's personal shopping. But then the fun of the mystery boxes is we will say, hey, you can buy a mystery box for $200 and you're getting
like $250 in value or something.
Yeah, you're getting a surprise that we pick. It's going to be something awesome because we're buying for that product. And then you get $250 worth in value. And then it's like a little fun Christmas for you when you open it up.
This year we're actually doing something different and we're doing a jewelry mystery box. So there's great jewelry in Tucson, precious, costume, silver, gold. And we're going to do a silver mystery box and a gold / brass. They're really affordable. So you're not going to get like 14 karat. You might get like 14 karat over silver. But again, if you want an amazing 14 karat piece, we can personal shop for that.
We can. You bought a diamond for an engagement ring on behalf of
I did.
Yeah.
They have polished and cut precious like diamonds, like sapphires, semi-precious, like your aquamarines and your garnets. They have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stones there. So if there's anything that you're looking for, the prices will not be beat, really. You get great stuff. And it's just, I'm so excited to see like what's going to be the mineral crystal girl of the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Like, 'cause there's always like the one thing that everybody's looking for, like the it girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you secured the Baumat calcites at a recent show.
That was the Massachusetts show. That was when I missed my grandmother's birthday, and my husband and I were looking at each other, and I'm like, you want to drive to Massachusetts? And we did. Listen, that happens sometimes, right? Like life gives you an opportunity, just take it. So if you're looking to go to a gem and mineral show, here are our Gem and Mineral Show tips. So what would you say tip number 1?
Tip number 1 would be bring cash, because a lot of them, it's the easiest form of currency to exchange for getting items. And I think also it's just plan accordingly. I would say budget, but do that. I would say just have a good, just like what you want to get, what you're looking for, because there's so much there that you get lost in, and you'll miss out on the things that you really were looking for. But I think it's just plan and bring cash.
I think definitely it's important to dress comfortably and wear supported shoes, like sneakers, because it's a lot of walking. It's an exhausting day, and have water available. And we always pack a wagon that we take with us. It's one of those collapsible wagons. We have a rental SUV, and we stack it full. Obviously, if you're just a consumer, you won't be doing that. But
maybe you will.
Yeah. These things are heavy. So if you are in the market to buy stuff, they're rocks and you're schlepping rocks. So it's helpful to have that type of a wagon just to lighten the load. And don't expect to do everything. It takes time. So allow yourself time. And it's really fun. It is really fun. So be open to the surprises, because sometimes we have had the best purchases result out of complete left field.
Yeah. I think my piece of advice would be, you can't realize how decision fatigue feels until you've been shopping for 8 hours and you're literally picking hundreds of things. You'll be we've been at booths where this table would be filled with aquamarine rough, and it's tens of thousands of pieces of aquamarine, and you're literally sifting and looking at each individual piece to bring back. And if you do that over and over and over again, it's mentally exhausting, not just physically exhausting, like Danielle said, mentally exhausting. And because of that, you can make buying mistakes. And we've made buying mistakes where we're we're going to get this, we're going to buy that. And then we buy it and we bring it back home and we're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, don't be afraid to negotiate too. Yeah. When you're at these shows, they are amongst thousands of other vendors. So it's okay to say, is there anything you can do better on that price? Is there any wiggle room? Of course, it's going to depend on how much you're spending, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Don't just be like, oh, yes, here's the price. I'll take, sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. And keep in mind, they're vendors from all over the world.
They don't want to bring it back with them.
They don't want to bring it back with them. And some cultures, it's part of their culture to negotiate. So Dina hates that. There was a
Vinny's all about it. I hate it.
Yeah, there was a vendor with opals, and he was like, "So what do you want to give me? What do you want to?" And she's just like, "Just tell me the price."
I'm Googling the prices. I'm like, oh my! It's that to me. It's so exhausting. I want give me transparency and pricing.
But also the most important thing is have fun.
Yeah.
And experience it, take pictures, really enjoy it, because when are you able to run around amongst beautiful minerals, especially these giant specimen pieces?
The big specimens are insane.
A lot of the big ones that you see us photographed with are at Pueblo, which is, I forget the name
Bookbinder.
of the... Yeah.
So Bookbinder is the famous guy. You'll see everybody sitting in gigantic chairs, and he has beautiful large format, tens of thousands of dollar pieces, chairs, couches, bathtubs, and other beautiful crystals. His quality is amazing. His prices are expensive, but they're gorgeous.
But don't be afraid to have fun. I run up to those pieces, I pose in front of them, I'll give them big bear hugs, and I act silly, but that's all part of the experience. Mm-hmm. It's when else are you able to play?
Yeah, with all the crystals and the energy and see all the new. It's amazing.
It's a really fun, exciting thing to be able to experience.
And I got to tell you, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you what to do. during COVID and during sort of like the boom of, witch talk and metaphysical and crystals getting really popular. I mean, obviously they're still popular, but they've really over the past 5 or 6 years have really come into like our popular culture. And I don't think they're going anywhere. But because of that, a lot of businesses have opened up. A lot of shops have opened up. And you have a lot of choices as to where you can buy your crystals. And it's, in my opinion, that the people that you're buying your crystals from should be going to these shows. They should be developing these relationships with the miners. They should be understanding where their crystals are coming from. They shouldn't just, I know this is the internet age. We're all hooked on Amazon. But the people that you're buying your minerals from should know more than just them ordering from a wholesale website where everybody else is getting their crystals.
Quality matters.
Quality matters. Energy matters. Everything is energy. The frequency and the vibration and the care that goes into us hand selecting everything, especially these curated mystery boxes. It's just, it's just different. And I know that a lot of smaller shops can't put in the time and the resources to go to these shows. But it's really important even to start going to local shows. If they can't travel across the country, I get it. But there are shows all over America, smaller shows, where everybody can begin to develop these relationships. So if you're an up and coming, I'm not trying to chastise you if you've been ordering online, but use Google, find your local shows, and start developing relationships.
And I was going to say, this is a great resource, this book. It's called The Book of Stones.
And he's going to be he's always at Tucson.
Yeah. Robert Simmons, he is known as like an authority on crystals. So this book not only shares information about the minerals, where they come from, the composition of them, but at the back of the book, you can take a look at the subject matter of the intention that you want. So say you want physical correspondences, like, I have back pain. What are good crystals to work with for the energy of that? But then also spiritual and emotional correspondences too. So, I'm really stressed and anxious. What's a good crystal to work with? So then you can look that up in the index, and then you can look up the stone, and it gives extensive information about the physicality of it, the region, as well as the channeled like message and energy of what it helps you.
You better believe we bring that with us when we go to shows. We do.
Yeah, we bring this. There's also a smaller size of this. There's other crystal books like Athena Paracus. Crystalpedia is a great one. We have Laurel Rathke's book, Connecting with Crystals, which is another one. So there's a lot of resources. This happens to be one that we always have on hand.
Favorite.
So if you're newer and trying to get a sense of like, what do I really want to get either from us on your behalf, or if you happen to be going there, it's a great resource to do the research ahead of time and understand like what's the intention that I want to solve for, or that like, do I want an amethyst geode to sit by my bed to bring that calm and peace and detoxification, or do I want citrine to really be a motivational boost to my solar plexus? Or knowing what you want to achieve is really helpful directionally when you're shopping.
So we're winding down the end of the episode, but my last question is, what do you guys hope we find in Tucson?
Okay. So last Tucson, we went to a seashell provider, and I'm hoping that they're there again because they have some amazing, like, just fossilized seashells as well as just, like, abalone shells. We have some mother of pearl spoons in the shop and stuff like that, and that's, like, my area of things that I like, and taxidermy also. So hoping for more like bugs and stuff.
Okay. I am a sucker for garnets, and garnets come in every different color, and there's so many different types of garnets. So I always get excited when I'm on the hunt and I find different kinds of unique garnets. Like one time I found this awesome chief from Africa, from a tribe, and I bought those Mali garnets from him. He was amazing. But then I found that Chinese orange garnet and smoky quartz specimen that I love. So I'm hoping to find something, maybe special new garnet that I don't have yet.
But what about your collection?
Okay, so every time I go to a big trade show, I usually bring home a big cat piece. So last Tucson, you found it, the quartz. So there was this lion head carved out of quartz, and it's amazing. and then you turn it around and there's a skull carved onto the backside. So it was so unique. And I was like, yeah, that's amazing. And I went to walk away. They go, are you really leaving this? And I was like, okay, it's coming home with me. And then I got the lepidolite lion. But usually I'm a panther, but I have a whole collection of big cats, and I will definitely find another one.
So I love gold, as you could see, and I love the vintage gold sellers. So I am going to be looking for fun charms and rings when we're there. So if you're a gold girl and you want vintage, slide into our DMs because we'll be looking. And with that, as I said, we will be in Tucson when this episode airs. So feel free to slide into our DMs to check out our website, shop.amityvilleapothecary.com. Our mystery boxes, both the mineral specimen and the jewelry, are right on our homepage. Follow us.
Our social media. We're going to be posting all sorts of lives from there. So it's really fun to be following us because we'll be posting stories. We'll be selling from there. We'll do our live sale from there, which is every Friday night on social media. So all of the updates will be updating live. So it's really fun to watch and from a consumer standpoint, and it's fun for us to share with you.
And then on Instagram, we have a broadcast channel. So if you wanted to join that, we send like photos of all things that we find. We'll send first dib items in there, pictures of where we're exploring and stuff like that. So if you want like a little behind the scenes, you can join our broadcast channel. Yeah,
and the handle is at Amityville Apothecary, and it has the verified check. So we will never slide into your DMs and say, hi, send me money like through this. That's not us. Make sure, like we would send you an official invoice, so do not get scammed. You can message us, and then we will respond professionally, or just call the shop and say, here's what I'm trying to accomplish. We'll help you, okay?
So thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to our podcast. Share it with your friends. We're so appreciative of you. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you again next time.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to us today. We look forward to connecting with you again soon, so be sure to come back for the next episode.
And make sure to follow us on social media. It's the fastest way you can get in touch with us at Amityville Apothecary, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And of course, like, subscribe to this podcast. We are eternally grateful for your support.